Okay everyone, this is just a little bit of an addendum video just before I start the video to show you what happened in the early hours this morning when BTP attended. I just want to give you a heads up on a couple of things that I want you to watch out for and listen very carefully to what the BTP officers say. So as we already knew, BTP would have been pre-booked, it would have been pre-planned by Network Rail. They would have been given their orders and their script, what to say and what to follow. Okay, so after you've seen in the phone call in the previous video where the Network Rail worker made the phone call to the BTP, he said to me they were going to be here in 25 minutes. I knew straight away then that they were probably just waiting down the road. They're actually here in about 30 or 40 minutes. So just keep in mind that they say they came from Inverness initially. It takes a good 2 hours to get to Inverness from here. But after they say they're from Inverness, then they change their story and say, oh, we were patrolling the area. Okay. They said that they were going to be impartial, but they were completely biased towards us, okay? They said that they didn't know much about the land dispute, but they were very quick to say when we mentioned our driveway, they told us that our driveway was disputed land. But as you will see, that they obviously held a very different opinion to the land where Network Rail were trying to do their work, yeah? Which is also disputed land. But the BTP had a completely different opinion on that, which was completely biased. So the land that we are saying is disputed, which we have put forward to the court, we sent them a map, and the map is hatched red, and the land where Network Rail workers were working this morning in the early hours were most certainly within that hatched red area. But as I just said, they chose not to consider that disputed land, but that's in the court, that's in with the court. So they also said that they could tell us all to leave if they wanted to, but we said to them, you know, obviously you can't because we live here. So that was something that was quite, you know, stupid to say anyway. So watch the video carefully, guys. BTP clearly lying to us, clearly being biased, and absolutely no intention of protecting the public or their property. They are just Network Rail's private security force. Here's the video. There they are, having a chat in the car, ready. Probably received their orders. Hello. Did you go the wrong way?
No, it's the police.
You went the wrong way, did you?
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Ah, that's it. Just to let you know, watch out, you don't trip. We've got survey pegs in here.
Brilliant, thank you, sir.
So there's a bit of it's right in.
Are you okay if I come and have a wee chat with the railway worker?
Come and have a look, yeah.
How you doing?
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Constable Cleland from the British Transport Police.
So here's, watch out, we've got survey pegs in the ground.
Thank you.
But can I just ask you a question before we go in?
Of course you can.
You're obviously recording me.
Yes, I'm just going to advise you that, yeah, we're on camera. So.
Okay, so I'm recording you as well.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
that's fine.
Just for the camera, can I just take your names and numbers, please?
Yeah, my name's Constable Cleland. Shoulder number's 1239. British Transport Police based at Stirling Railway Station.
Sterling you're from? Oh, okay, thanks.
And I'm Constable Allen 4553.
Thanks. You're also Sterling, are you?
No, I'm based in Aberdeen.
Aberdeen?
Yeah.
So have you come especially on call, or you were on the way anyway?
We're night shift cover tonight.
We work all over the place. Being the British Transport Police, we're all over the country. So.
Where have you just come from now then? Have you come from...
Inverness, we're in the Inverness area, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
we'll be travelling, patrolling the area tonight.
Right.
So.
Can I just ask you both then, are you aware that at the moment we are in a civil dispute in court to do with the land dispute?
We are
here?
aware that
You're
there's
aware?
obviously been issues around here regarding the railway.
Yeah, but are you aware that there's a civil dispute in court?
Yes.
You are aware. Is this?
Currently being heard at Wickshire
Yeah.
Court.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're not pertinent to as much information. What we've got
Yeah.
is we've got a call from Network Rail tonight
Yeah.
to say there's a potential obstruction. Sorry, just so I can see as well, so I don't trip
Yeah.
over pegs.
That's it.
And there's a potential obstruction to the railway works going on
Okay.
at the station. So
Yeah.
we need to find out what's going on first.
Yeah,
And we'll go from
okay,
there. Are you
fine.
quite happy?
Yeah,
No, can I just say something?
Yeah.
Just. Oh, shall I wait for your colleague?
You can do, yeah.
Yeah, if I could just get some legalities out of the way first, just so everybody knows what position that we're in, so
Yeah.
everybody understands where we are. Obviously, you're on our land at the moment, so it's.
We're obviously in dispute of the
Yeah,
land,
if-
obviously, so we don't know where we're at just now.
Please, if you
Yeah.
let me finish.
Yeah. This is our. You see the peg? It's
Yeah, if I
our
could just-
registered boundary.
Yeah,
so you are on
explain,
our.
you explain to us everything.
Yeah,
what you
please,
need to
if you
explain. That's
give us-
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
No,
just
no
from
problem.
the
Okay.
outset, obviously you've received a complaint this evening from Network Rail alleging that we're obstructing. So just here's the legal position here. As you know, there's an ongoing civil case that's at court at the moment between
Okay.
us and Network Rail concerning the dispute of ownership of land at Outlebrec. And
Yep.
you've agreed you're aware of that. Now, you're currently on our land.
Okay.
So it's obviously appropriate that you allow us to give you our side first so you know what the legal position is. Okay, so what's happened this evening is that we knew these works were planned, and for the last week we've been in written communications with Network Rail solicitors, the director, Mr. Black, for CPR, who are here tonight, the contractors
Okay.
on behalf of Network Rail, and also the BTP at Inverness.
Yeah.
We obviously have been trying to do things the right way to avoid the situation
Yeah.
that we're now in.
We don't want to waste people's time.
We don't want to
course.
waste people's time, so we've tried our best all week to communicate and just explain that it's clearly unreasonable for Network Rail to send contractors onto disputed land, which we claim is ours. Network Rail claims
Of course,
theirs.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
understand?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's just happened in court? The Network Rail have just recently sent their surveyor out here. Okay. They got a court order to do that. The surveyor's been here and surveyed what they wanted to survey.
Okay.
Now it's our turn. Okay.
Okay.
Do you think it's unreasonable for us to ask now for us to survey what they're claiming?
We don't have an opinion over.
Yeah, but
what's
obviously it's
reasonable
not, is
and what's
it?
not
Obviously, if
reasonable.
they're allowed to do that, we should be allowed
At
to
the
as well.
end of the day, we
yeah.
can't comment on what's going on in relation to a civil dispute,
Yeah.
which is going through
Okay.
the courts at the moment. But
And that's what this issue
Yeah,
says.
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand that.
So are you here today to act impartially,
we are
completely?
completely.
Okay.
We are here because we have received a call
Great.
to come here.
Yeah.
The report to us is that they have obviously been obstructed whilst they've been on the platform trying to carry out their duties. They
Right.
felt that they are being obstructed by yourselves.
Right.
So we've obviously been called. So our job now is to go and obviously speak to the reporter
Yeah.
and then just take it from there.
Okay.
let
So
me
so you are here. You're interested in our rights as well as members of the public.
Absolutely, we don't
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
sides. We're
You're not going to take
Yeah,
sides.
no, no.
Okay.
Well, on
At all.
that note, it's really important. So, as I said, just prior to, because we knew these works were, I've been in contact with Inspector Ashley Forbes,
Yeah.
based at British
Yeah,
Transport
yeah,
Police.
he's our inspector.
Have you
had-
spoke to him
Can I?
I haven't spoke to him
this evening?
Have you
not this
spoken to him
evening.
this evening?
No,
No.
no.
Are you aware of the communication we've had with him?
We're aware that you have been in touch with him in communication.
But that's between yourselves
you are
and him.
aware,
We're,
so
we're
you
just response officers.
So
we
you
don't
have
Ah,
been in
okay, yeah,
contact
yeah.
with
Information.
Inspector? I thought you said you hadn't been in contact with
We,
him.
we've
He's our sector inspector. We report to Inspector Forbes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, he's emailed us tonight,
Okay.
obviously prior to him, to this job.
okay.
coming.
I didn't know. We didn't know he'd
Well,
emailed you.
can
Yeah,
I
okay.
just let you know he's emailed
We
us?
will show you the email. We'll be
Yeah.
completely open with you, and we'll
And
Yeah, yeah,
he's
that's
explained.
just read it out first for the camera, Liz, and then.
He's explained to us that he's in full agreement that this is a civil dispute and it's not a matter for the BTP to get involved in. As regards the allegations from Network Rail, which we say are false and unreasonable, that we're obstructing, no we're not, we're exercising our lawful legal right to prevent a trespass on our land. We have a right to do that, would you agree?
We can't share whether
Would you
we,
agree it's a civil matter?
at this moment in time. What I will tell you.
Answer my question.
No, listen
is it
to
a civil
listen
matter?
to what I'm saying. Okay, we are not here to dispute whether this is a civil matter or not.
We're telling you
we-
it's at court.
We are responding to a call by members of rail staff who have reported to us that they have been obstructed in their duties whilst they've been working on
Okay,
They've been
but the
asking
main
for land.
thing is the land that it's on, isn't it? You know,
Okay.
the people can't just go and do work
Okay.
on land that they do not own, do
I'm
they?
not going to get into a dispute about
Yeah,
the land,
okay.
because
Because it's civil.
we are police officers.
Yeah.
It's a civil matter regarding
Okay.
the land.
So let me just ask a
the
question then.
reason
Yeah.
we are here is
Yeah.
we are here because we've been called because rail
Yeah.
staff have reported that they have been obstructed in their duties, which is to carry out repairs
And
to the
we
platform.
dispute that because it's
Yeah.
our land
Okay.
and they
Yeah.
don't have a legal right to
Yeah, and the court
let
hasn't
me
decided
finish,
that yet.
please. They don't have a legal right to undertake works on our land, and whilst it's an ongoing court case, it's clearly appropriate for the appropriate sheriff to adjudicate on the true ownership of the land
Yeah,
before
okay.
any work takes place.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
and we
let me finish, please. The email from
Oh,
the
yeah.
inspector.
Okay.
Good evening, Miss Howe. In relation to your communication, I've received an specific response to your query, which my query was you won't respond to a civil situation. Officers will not respond in relation to civil matters. In relation to civil matters of law, we take a neutral stance and remain impartial. Okay, you've responded tonight as a result of a call.
Yeah.
We're obviously our side is that it's a civil matter.
Okay.
We are lawfully exercising our right to prevent a trespass and for works to be undertaken on our land unlawfully. So we are doing the right thing. Now, if you're to act properly this evening and genuinely impartially, this is we did try and avoid this, Mr. Black.
Yeah. We don't want to waste your time. Do you know what I mean? We just want to be reasonable. We just we just want to be reasonable. We just want to get our chance to sort things out in court. You know.
I hope you do.
Thank you very much. Thank
I
you.
do apologise. Unfortunately, I have to give instructions as well.
As we previously discussed, this is an active railway station. And
It's not an active railway,
under-
it's closed.
under Section 16 of the Railways Act, I'm asking you to quit the railway. Just now I'm asking you to quit the station and leave the station for me.
You're not
Um,
acting impartially
I'm asking you to
again.
move off of the platform.
We're not on the platform.
So that
It's
we
not an
can do
active
our work
railway
and carry out
station.
our work.
It's
This
not
land
an
is in
active railway,
dispute.
It's in the dispute. This
It's
is
not an
land.
active railway.
Are you
Only the
refusing-
judge.
Are you refusing to leave the railway?
Yes, we're not on the railway.
Obviously.
Right,
if-
no,
if-
no.
listen,
let
if
him-
I can
let's-
just-
let him speak.
If I can just say something, okay?
You're not acting
This
impartially.
gentleman
You don't
here
know that yet.
obviously works for Network Rail, okay?
Yeah.
They, from what I've been told, they have created a new route to come in here, so
On disputed
Let's just
land.
let him speak.
so that they're not coming through your property to access the railway. So they've done that.
No.
He's also explained to you that this land here belongs to Network Rail.
It doesn't, and
That's what the judge has got to
that's the
decide.
judge
And
decides
also,
that.
we've also had the letter. So the letter we've received about the works. They said they are coming through that side of the land, which is also disputed land, which we're also preventing access. So does that mean that if you remove us off this land and you get involved in a civil matter, does that mean the BTP will be coming to remove us off that land
Well,
as well for our entrance?
What
You know
I was
what I
trying to
mean?
explain there
The
was,
BTP
if I can just
Yeah.
speak.
adjudicating again on land ownership.
Okay,
Is that
no,
correct?
no,
No,
no.
let me finish.
Yeah, this is not fair.
It's a BTP. Yes.
You're allowing them to go ahead with this work.
You're adjudicating. You're taking the job of the sheriff. There's a court. The legal due process should be allowed to take place.
Yeah.
You're the BTP again.
You shouldn't be
are
allowing this.
acting- You're abusing your police powers. You're threatening us when we're trying to prevent a trespass, and you're involving yourself in a civil
Yeah.
dispute.
If we
again.
don't, can I just ask you a question? If we don't move off this land, are you going to arrest us?
Can I just explain something before we go down that route and
You're
discuss
acting
this
unlawfully again.
this matter? As it's just been explained by Network Rail to us, okay? I believe at some point there was an access point coming through here to the railway. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they have done now is they have created a route out with your property. I am being told.
We
okay.
own
So if
the
a burglar
land.
goes to someone's house and he doesn't use the front door but goes in through the window, does that make it all right?
That's not.
Yeah, but it's nothing to do with access. It's nothing to do with access. It's to do with the land.
We owned
This land,
you're
on our
trespassing
land.
now on our land.
Yeah.
The path that's been built by Network Rail has been built unlawfully, which is why it's at court.
But it's a
it's
dispute
land in dispute.
between
Yeah.
yourselves and Network Rail. At this current moment in time,
Yeah,
You
Network
yeah,
are
Rail
yeah.
provided
criminals.
enough to state that the
Liz.
platform belongs to Network Rail,
It
and as
doesn't.
such,
How do you know?
continuing to fail to desist
Are
on
you
the
the
railway
Are you the sheriff?
is an offence under Section 16 of the Regulation Railways Act 1840.
So you're again deciding on behalf of the sheriff.
So you're
that
going to
Network
arrest
Rail
us?
own
So
the
you,
land?
yeah.
As an arrestable offence, yes.
So you're telling us now if we don't move off this land, you're going to arrest us, yeah?
We could go down that route. I would rather not go down that route and deal with this amicably at this time.
Yeah, but
Coercing us.
yeah, that's coercive.
It's intimidation.
That's coercion.
We're not,
about it.
That's
we're
coercion.
not- It's not. We're explaining to you.
Are you saying Network Rail owns this land?
We have been told that Network Rail
And
own
we're
this
telling
land.
you we
Yeah.
own it, so why are you
Yeah.
not
Okay.
acting
Yeah, but that's
impartially?
it's not for you to decide, though,
It's
is it?
not
It's
for
in
you
the
to
court to
decide.
decide.
And
You
until
shouldn't.
such times the courts decide, at this time, we believe that the ownership of the land belongs
Yeah,
to
well, you're
What
making
you
a decision then,
believe,
aren't you?
What you feel.
You're making
is
a decision,
relevant,
yeah.
officer.
Well, that's fine. That is your honest opinion of how you think I am.
You
It's
are
fine.
See the
abusing
route
your
that you've
police
created
powers.
out with here.
You
So-
are
so we
acting
haven't used any
unlawfully.
route
We told
on the
you.
railway tonight.
Right,
We
okay,
own this
okay.
land.
But sorry, the access route we were talking about earlier on.
There's another route that's been built in to avoid coming past the window.
And you're entitled to your opinion.
And that is.
That's the windows are there. Look, our lights on in the window.
Rail land.
Yes.
The other route that's coming in here.
Yes.
And that has been confirmed from maps
Yes.
and everything. Right, okay.
Okay, so it hasn't been confirmed. It's in court. That has not been. That is not truthful. Okay, so you come in on the track. We actually own the Solemn as well, onto the other side of that ground there. Okay, yes, I agree. Network Rail own the actual track, the metal track. We've got the Solemn rights here. I can show you the paperwork, but that's civil. Okay, we own all the way up to Lochgarb and all the way down to Lochlar. Okay, so that the land that they've come in on, okay, it's nothing to do with access. This land here is not an active railway station at the moment until it's sorted out in court. Okay, now surely we should be given the right to have our surveyor survey what land Network Rail are claiming before they just come and do work on it. Now you're getting involved in a civil matter if you're going to remove us off this land.
Okay, let me ask you a question,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So what happens tomorrow, just say if a member of the public came here to catch a train?
There's a public right of way that comes in for our drive.
Right, so
It's
there's
a footpath.
there's-
Footpath.
Okay, so there's a public right of way to come in from your drive to this railway.
It's a footpath for
Okay.
members of the public.
A
Yeah,
footpath, okay.
yeah.
So if that's the case then, okay, Network Rail obviously own the railway.
No,
okay?
because it's no, because it's a public right of way over our land. It's not publicly owned land.
Okay.
Do you understand
okay.
that? Yeah,
So a
yeah.
public right of way. So surely, if it's a public right of way for the public to access this railway,
Yeah,
surely if Network Rail were required to come in here and do some maintenance to an active railway station,
Yeah.
they would have right of way like the public.
no, because they're not the public. It's not for commercial use. Okay, a public right of way. Okay, let me explain what a public right of way is. You probably know this anyway. It's for a member of public to get from point A to point B. It doesn't allow someone to work commercially or to conduct a commercial activity, or it doesn't allow them to set up camp or stop halfway.
Yep.
Okay, it's for to get from A to B. It's not about access here. It's about land ownership.
So then,
Yeah.
let's go down this route then.
You've maybe been in possession of the office number already?
Tonight, they haven't come through your property to access here. Okay?
But they're on our property in another way.
But this is the railway. This is
Well,
a
down
platform.
there, down there.
This is a railway platform.
No, it's not active platform at the moment. This, okay, it's being used. It was being used, okay, as a platform when it's been allowed to be used, okay, when there's an agreement in place.
Okay.
It was being allowed to be used as a platform,
Okay.
but until the dispute is sorted out,
Okay.
it's not been allowed. That's why it's closed.
Okay.
It's been closed for almost
Okay, then.
2 years now.
So what I'm saying is, just say there was trains running here tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
The public would have access to come through here.
we've never stopped the public.
Okay, and Network Rail would have access to come here and do maintenance.
We've never stopped them to do maintenance on the track.
Yeah.
Okay, on the track.
Yeah.
But we're not on the track at the moment. We're on our garden.
That's why the station's
This is
been
our
closed for
garden.
2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and that's what hasn't been decided
this
yet.
is a platform.
No, it's not. It's used as a platform. It's used as a platform. Yeah, but we haven't established yet. Okay, whether Network Rail actually own this land in court. Okay, we've got evidence that they do not. We want to be given our chance to submit our evidence to the court, and we want our chance for our surveyor, okay, to come here and survey what Network Rail are claiming to own. They've had their chance to do it. We want ours. So you know that's not unreasonable. You know, okay. It doesn't matter if it's an inch. It's an inch or a mile, whatever it is. Okay, it's about land ownership. They do not have permission to dig on this land. Okay, they do not have permission to work on this land. They need our permission to do it until it's resolved.
You're saying that Network Rail own the land.
My
Let me show you
thoughts
the
here are
title
that
they're
this is a platform.
Your
okay?
thoughts? Yes, your thoughts.
But
Yeah.
this looks like a platform
Well,
to me.
yeah.
okay?
Well, that's because it was being used as
Okay,
one.
so that
Yeah.
then belongs to Network
Okay,
Rail.
the previous owners were getting paid by Network
Okay,
Rail,
okay.
to use the land, okay?
Okay.
So if you want to start going down that route, we're going down the civil route then, yeah?
I'm not going to get into dispute here, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, having been a police officer 22 years in the BTP,
Yeah.
this to me is a platform.
Well, it was being used as
okay?
one. It's been used as
and
one.
this is,
Is that a garden? Is that a house?
this here is obviously a railway line where they need access to do any maintenance. Now, they have accessed this platform tonight via the railway
Can I show you this?
in order to put in new slabbing here.
Yeah, but you see that there's our house,
Yeah, I
yeah?
understand
And that's
that.
our garden.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell me where our garden ends? Can you tell me where it ends?
Sorry, 2 seconds.
No.
Ask me to look at it.
So our garden comes all the way across. It's used as a platform, okay? Okay, just like Scott's Calder and stuff, okay? It's close to the railway. So if you show me where my garden ends here then and where the platform starts,
I'm not going to get into a dispute about boundaries and where the platform
well that's in
starts.
court, yeah.
But the
At
point
this
I'm
time, yes,
making
I believe
here
so.
is that this is clearly a railway platform and this is clearly a railway line.
It's a railway line, yeah.
Which we've already discussed, the public have access to come through your property to catch a train, yeah? We in agreement with
Well,
that?
not at the moment because it's closed. So it's not an active station.
But it's, if it was open.
If that's the big. At the moment, it's not open because of the court
At the
dispute.
moment,
It's not open because of the court dispute.
Network Rail own this part of line, yeah?
They own the track.
Yeah.
We own the solemn. We've got. Do you want to see the document to prove that?
I'm not going to get into dispute
Okay.
about this, but
Yeah.
Network Rail are
We've got
here.
a plan. We've got a plan and deed.
Network Rail are here
Okay,
to
this
carry out
document
works.
here-
This,
And where is this
this
one?
Unlawfully.
This was
Okay.
sent
That's
to
unlawful,
Network
yeah.
Rail and it's been lodged at the Whitchurch
Network
Court
Rail
as
have
proof.
asked for you to
Allegedly
desist
of their
and to allow
ownership
them
of
to
land.
continue with
Okay.
their works
This area
this
of
evening.
land here,
Yes, or this morning.
Network Rail
Yeah.
claim
Well, just now, yeah. Just now, yeah.
Okay.
Just now.
this is the legal
And you've
document
refused, yes?
that they're
Yes.
relying
Right,
at
okay.
court to prove that they own the land.
Because
Now, this area of land
you need to
here
understand it's
is not
my
owned
opinion.
by
I'm stood on my
Network Rail.
land.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
And
fine.
it's not for you to decide. It's for the sheriff to decide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Owned
That's
by the
fine.
forestry company next door.
Okay.
I've got a title to prove that.
We've got
Okay.
deed and title plan to
This
show you
area
on
of
this land.
is also includes our title.
Okay.
So therefore, this document that Network Rail are purporting to claim is ownership, proof of ownership of their land.
Okay.
It is invalid.
We can show you proof that we
So
own the
you're
land.
looking at
Network
a
Rail
document
can't.
now, and you've got a
Network
job.
Rail
You've
can't.
got a
That map
duty
Okay.
to take
is
evidence
totally
into account.
With all
outdated.
respect, I'm just looking at a picture. There's no letterheaded. There's
Exactly.
nothing.
So you're not
Network-
qualified, but you've
But
just
you're-
decided
Yeah,
Network Rail own the land.
But
Yeah.
as it stands just now, we believe that the land
It
belongs to Network
doesn't.
Rail.
Your
Yeah, so you make
opinion
that's
is
your opinion's
irrelevant.
irrelevant.
Your opinion's
Is that's out of your
irrelevant,
jurisdiction,
sir.
officer?
Right.
This is
Yeah.
the sheriff.
Okay,
Okay.
under
Yeah.
Section 16 of the Railway Regulations Act 1840,
We're going to
we're
leave
asking you to
now.
quit the railway, please.
And if we don't,
You will be arrested for the
right,
offence.
okay. You've acted
Unlawfully
biased, and you said you weren't.
And
So
I've
just
explained as well, our inspector on duty tonight is Bassie Macbar 3938. Elizabeth was going to ask for her mobile number
Yeah, I
off
want to
herself,
speak to the inspector.
and I'll put that in the log for the inspector to make contact with you as well. That's
okay.
been requested.
So
as well,
just so you know, okay, just where I stand, you've acted biased tonight. You said you weren't going to, okay. So you've made a decision,
all pre-planned.
and
You were
it's not in
waiting
your
all
jurisdiction
along.
to make
We're
that
not
decision.
stupid.
Okay.
Once again,
Okay,
you
just-
sided with Network Rail.
Okay, I'm just going
And,
to caution you both. You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say will be noted, maybe used in evidence. You understand? As my colleague has just explained to you, Section 16, the Railway Regulations Act 1840.
Elizabeth, I'm just going to caution you not obliged to say, but if you do say, we'll be
You
noted,
commit
be
an
reserved.
offence
Thank you.
if you refuse to desist.
Goodbye. Now, can we ask you to remove yourself from our land? Registered title.
We'll stand over here.